When you look up the biggest LEGO set ever, the answer will be the upcoming Sagrada Familia set. Even though this set will be gargantuan, I don't think it takes any more than a second glance to be able to tell that it's not the #1 biggest set. A good analogy is that just because worms have the most organs out of all animals doesn't make them the biggest. I think most people would define big as something to do with measurable size along distance planes. You know, height, width, length, those whole 9 yards. That's what I'm going to determine in this video. We'll look at the tallest, longest, and widest sets, and then we'll take a look at all of that and find our answer for the biggest set. Alright, this is going to be pretty simple. What's the tallest LEGO set ever? We'll just go through the top 10 here. I found this article from, whoa, it looks like my head is just floating. Anyway, I found this article from Stone Wars, but I'm not sure how updated it is, so we'll just go through this as a starter point. And I'm logging this all on an Excel sheet, trust me. Interestingly, this article starts with place number 11 being the 2023 Gringotts Harry Potter set. Definitely makes sense. It's basically a whole modular building on top of a big old structure. Says this one is 79 centimeters tall. Number 10 is the updated Disney castle from 2023, even though the image is of the 2016 one. The newer castle is 80 centimeters tall, while the 2016 one is just 74. Screw it though, I'll jot both of them down. They have the Daily Bugle at number 9, which definitely makes sense. This one is clocking in at 82 centimeters, which is definitely helped by the spire at the top of the building. Barad-dûr is up next. So this article is at least updated through 2024. Good to know. The Eye of Sauron, there it is, towers at 83 centimeters, just barely reaching the 8th spot on this list. Wow, next up is a set from 2000, the Statue of Liberty. I totally forgot this thing existed. But yeah, 85 centimeters tall, definitely deserves to be considered. Okay, next is the tallest set I personally own, the Avengers Tower. Not as close, there we go, that's closer. Nope, there we go. Yay. Yay. Decent jump up to 90 centimeters here, and this one doesn't even have too big of a spire up top. Number 5 is one of the funnest, and yes, that is a word now, sets ever, the Loop Coaster. It's always funny to me that a roller coaster set is taller than Avengers Tower and Barad-dûr, but at 92 centimeters, definitely belongs here. Ooh, I like this one, the Apollo Saturn V. The only non-structure set on this list is also the first to break the 100 centimeter mark. Third place is another forgotten set, the 2018 Wind Turbine. Dang, I had no clue it was that tall, 102 centimeters. I'm guessing that's with one of the blades pointing like straight up. Wow, okay, I also didn't know this set was that tall, but the OG Eiffel Tower is taking spot number 2 at 108 centimeters, which means that the newer one is obviously number 1, and yup, and wow, this is way taller, right? Yeah, all the way up 149 centimeters. That's a pretty obvious victor and a good candidate for the winner of this video already. I racked my brain to think of any sets released in the last 2 years that could also be on this list just in case it was outdated. The only one I can think of was maybe the Death Star, and Brickset actually lists it as 79 centimeters tall, so it would have made it. I'll jot it down, and while I'm at it, I'll find all the dimensions for the sets already, but I'm not going to reveal the order yet. Alright. Since length versus width depends on which side of the model you're looking at, I figured this could just be one category. Can you deal with that for me? Great! No! Now, the internet could not provide me with an article for this, so I will have to trust... I hate AI. But it's for the greater good. And not surprisingly, AI gave me a crap answer. No matter how hard I specified what exactly I wanted, it still refused to not give me sets like the Eiffel Tower, when obviously we know that set is not in the top 10 for length. So, we'll have to go off my intuition at this point, so feel free to totally come at me at the comments for anything that I'm definitely gonna miss. It's also pretty ironic that I'm doing this before the alleged new Super Star Destroyer comes out, which I would not be surprised if it becomes the longest set ever, if not very close. Anyway, we all know the Titanic is number 1, right? It seems like 135 centimeters long. I'm also gonna look up that UCS Super Star Destroyer and both UCS Star Destroyers. Looks like the Executor is 124.5, the old ISD is 95, and the new one is actually way longer at 109 centimeters. While we're with Star Wars, let's look at both UCS Millennium Falcons. So the 2007 is 84 by 56 centimeters, and the new one is the same. Lastly, for Star Wars, let's check in on the Venator.
Hi.
which is 109 centimeters long, just like the new Imperial Star Destroyer. I'm pretty sure a lot of the train sets are pretty long, right? So let's start with that UCS Hogwarts Express thing. It's 118 centimeters long, so yeah, pretty big. They came out with an Orient Express set recently, right? That's gotta be pretty big. Yeah, it's pretty close to 116 centimeters. After some light research, seems like those are the two longest trains. Oh, the Concorde, that's pretty big, right? Let's see, 105 centimeters, so definitely long. What about that Pan Am plane that came out recently? Okay, 76 centimeters, but also 51 centimeters wide. I suppose the world map is probably pretty long, right? The second biggest Lego set by piece count. Yeah, it's a good 104 centimeters long. Okay, this video has not been as formalized as I was hoping it would be. So at this point, let's just go through brick sets list for the top 30 or so biggest Lego sets by piece count. Log the ones I haven't yet. Come back and update y'all. Okay, so I actually sorted by the top 50, and I'm glad I did because it seems like some of those articles forgot about the Technic sets, as the number 50 spot was Rough Terrain Crane from Technic. I remember the somewhat recent $700 crane set they came out with recently was also huge, so I added that, even though it's not within the top 50 biggest sets by piece count. I also didn't include any of the art sets, besides the world map, I suppose, on this list. Anyway, the other sets added were the Bricklink Designer Program Train Station, Privateer Frigate Fortuna, also from Bricklink, the River Steamboat. Okay, so, oh, whoa, that's not a good screenshot. Anyway, this guy came out since the filming of this video. Spoiler alert, it didn't win. Anyway, it would be here. Okay, bye! Technic Liber R, Roller Coaster, The Aquarium, Big Ben, Gotham City, Tower Bridge, which actually should have been in the top 10 longest sets category that I tried to make from scratch right under their world map. Whoopsie there. Notre Dame, The Lion Knight's Castle, Ghostbusters Firehouse, The Old Town, Ninjago City, Camp Nou, Diagon Alley, Ninjago City Gardens, Santiago Bernabeu Stadium, both Taj Mahals because they're the same, Hogwarts, Ninjago City Markets, Rivendell, The Razor Crest, AT-AT, The Pokemon Trio, Minas Tirith, the Colosseum, and of course, the Sagrada Familia. I also added these sets because I know they have a pretty big footprint regardless of their piece count. Just off the back of my head, I'm pretty sure a lot of other train or like monorail sets can be customized into like huge, space taking up, yada yada, whatever. I can talk really well. But since you can fit a ton of stuff in like the middle of that, those aren't gonna count for this. Again, that new UCS Superstar Destroyer is really gonna age this video out pretty quickly, but hey, what can I do? Okay, let's briefly talk about how I'm measuring this, which is using pretty simple volume. Extremely basic, it's literally just height times length times width, so essentially it just makes a rectangular prism out of the Lego set. Obviously this isn't fully accurate, that would be using surface area, but that would be virtually impossible to complete. Some people would probably argue that I should use weight as well, but A, I couldn't find a reliable source that consistently told me weight. I mean, Bricklink says grams, but that includes the box and packaging for some reason. And B, I think when people think of big, they're looking at like size it takes up on display. You're not going to be looking at that and knowing it's heavy is not going to be like, wow, that's bigger than something that is like taller. You know, I'm doing a really bad job explaining this, but just trust me that I'm right. And if you question me, you're wrong. Cool?
And I think the rectangular prism works because even though, like, for example, Barra door, it's not going to be as wide as the base is, especially up top, but, like, you don't want anything in between it or in the way of the front, so I think rectangular prism works for display purposes. As in, like, it measures how much space the set's display will completely entail.
Alright, enough flipper flapper. Let's go through the order to finally answer the question we've been searching for in this whole video. In 62nd place, wow, I did not realize I looked at that many sets, is the Orient Express at 11,136 cubic centimeters. That seems like a ton, but that's how the math works out. And once we get some sets that are large in all three dimensions, man, I can't wait to see how big the numbers get. I mean, 116 centimeters long is still pretty big, and it's this low. So, let's speedrun the next big chunk of this. Gotham Skyline is next. Makes sense. Already almost at 20,000 centimeters though. Followed by the Santiago Bernabeu, which has a ton of pieces, but it's too dense to get up that high. Case in point, next is the Saturn V, which has under 2,000 pieces, but its height makes it nearly 30,000 centimeters cubed. Notre Dame is up next, Another super dense build. And then we go to the world map. Wow, look at that difference in piece rank and size rank. Diagon Alley is next, then the River Steamboat, Firehouse HQ up next, then Camp Nou, so yeah, a lot of high piece counts down here. Then the Aquarium, Big Ben, and Studgate train station. Wow, we went all the way down to 50, and we still haven't seen a piece count rank in the 50s yet. Then the Lion Knight's Castle, Daily Bugle, and Ninjago City Markets, so the biggest Ninjago set ever is the first one we see. Then the Hogwarts Express, Gringotts, the Concorde, the Technic Liber R9800, and the T-Rex Skeleton, so the first time we see a piece count rank in the 50s. Somewhat surprised and somewhat not surprised with the amount of sets where the size rank is bigger than the piece rank. Next up is the USS Enterprise, Old Town, Avengers Tower, and OG Ninjago City. It gives me some pride to hear that there are a lot more Ninjago sets that are even bigger than the biggest Marvel set. Then we have the Coliseum and Razor Crest, two massive piece counts. Then the Endurance, Pan Am Plane, and Black Pearl, the first time we have 3 green differences. And look at that, we're already nearing 95,000 cubic centimeters. Then we have the Titanic. Wow, the longest set ever is only the 32nd biggest set. To be fair, it is very thin, but I wonder what's bigger. Oh, okay, the AT-AT, another very big piece count set. Then Tournament Temple City is actually the second biggest Ninjago set. Then the Pokemon Trio set, and then, oh wow, both Millennium Falcons are this low. That might be the biggest shock for me, to be honest. Wow. Ninjago City Gardens is bigger than the Falcon, and it's the first set to reach 100,000 cubic centimeters. It's followed by the Old Disney Castle, the Taj Mahal, Barad-dûr, and wow, the set with the most pieces, the Sagrada Familia. Honestly, I'm pretty surprised it's this high up on the list. I thought it looked smaller. Then we get the Superstar Destroyer, Tower Bridge, Minas Tirith, the Privateer Frigate, and Rivendell. Super interesting how that's bigger than Minas Tirith. And look how we're almost at the 150,000 cubic centimeter mark already. I bet it just skyrockets near the top. Oh wow, another surprise for me is that the Death Slice is this low, to be honest. Actually trumped by the 2023 Disney Castle. That's kind of funny. The Republic Gunship is this high, which is crazy. Then the Rough Terrain Crane, Hogwarts, the Venator, and the Statue of Liberty brings us to the top 10. Dang! I really need to see the Statue of Liberty in person. I had no clue it was this huge. Then we get the roller coaster and the wind turbine. Wow, look at how much green is on the right compared to before. And it's crazy that this set is the 8th biggest set ever. It's not even 1,000 pieces. The 2002 Star Destroyer breaks the 200,000 centimeter barrier, and that's broken by the UCS Imperial Shuttle. Wow, I'm glad I added that in. I knew it was super big, but not top 10 big. The Loop Coaster is up next, followed by the old Eiffel Tower, making it all the way up here. And our first podium finisher is the Technic Crawler Crane. Second place is the 2019 UCS Star Destroyer. Honestly, not surprised. That thing is absolutely bonkers big based on what I've seen. I think I know what number 1 is, and it's probably what most people would have expected. But yes, the newer Eiffel Tower is the biggest Lego set ever. Holy crap, 484,000 centimeters. Dude, yeah, look how much it exponentially grows here at the top. Just like the 1% in America. Actually, no, that's way more disproportionate. But yeah, honestly, this is not a shock. The thing is 5 feet tall with a pretty wide base. I'm sure I missed a few sets that should be in here, but I think at least the top 5 or 10 or so are probably accurate. But yeah, end of the story, the Eiffel Tower can finally, officially take its throne for the biggest Lego set of all time. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a whimsical rest of your day. Ciao!